money was created. A quick look on short history. Please help me to subscribe our channel for more videos. Click the bell icon to get notified when we post a new videos. How money was created and how it has changed over time. A barter system is one in which goods or services are exchanged for other goods or services without the use of money. Money is any object that is generally accepted as payment for goods and services or repayment of debts in a given country or socio-economic context. The main functions of money are distinguished as a medium of exchange, a unit of account, a store of value, and sometimes a standard of deferred payment. Other functions have also been attributed to money, such as providing liquidity to an economy and acting as a transportable store of value. In its most basic form, money is any object that can be used to buy goods and services. In essence, money represents a claim on resources. It evolved from earlier systems of trade based on commodities like sheep or grain, which were difficult to transport and often subject to theft. Early forms of money, bartering and trade. Bartering and trade were some of the earliest forms of money. Money is anything that is accepted as a means of exchange. In early societies, people would barter goods and services in order to get what they needed. This was often done by trading one good for another. For example, someone might trade a sheep for a cow. Over time, people began to use money as a way to purchase goods and services. Money allowed people to buy what they needed without having to trade for it. This was especially helpful when someone didn't have anything that the other person wanted. Money also made it easier to buy things from distant places. However, the use of money quickly changed. In many early societies, people found that they needed more coins in circulation to do business. People in many early societies used coins made out of silver or gold. These metals were scarce, making them valuable and desirable. As the use of coins became more common, people needed to have a place to store their coins. This led to the creation of banks. Banks were used as a safe place to store money and other valuables. Some banks became very successful. They loaned money to people who needed it, in exchange for interest. This was a good business for the bank, but not so good for the person who borrowed the money. A banknote is a type of money that can be used to make purchases. Banknotes are printed by the central bank of the country that issues them. They represent a promise to pay the bearer on demand a specific sum in the currency of the note. They are legal tender throughout the country. Countries around the world issue banknotes and coins. A coin is a piece of metal, gold, silver, or copper that has been stamped with the seal of a government. Coins are used as currency in many countries. This leads us to the next major development in currency: paper money. The next major development in currency was the introduction of paper money. Paper money is a type of currency that is printed on paper instead of being made out of metal. The first paper money was introduced in China during the Tang Dynasty, 618 to 907. Paper money was also used in medieval Europe, but it was not as common as it was in China. The use of paper money became more widespread during the Renaissance, when banks began to issue paper bills of exchange. Paper money became even more common during the Industrial Revolution, when governments began to issue paper banknotes. Today, most countries around the world use paper money as their primary form of currency. The first paper money was introduced in China during the Tang Dynasty, 618 to 907. Paper money was also used in medieval Europe, but it was not as common as it was in China. The use of paper money became more widespread during the Renaissance, when banks began to issue paper bills of exchange. Paper money became even more common during the Industrial Revolution, when governments began to issue paper banknotes. Today, most countries around the world use paper money as their primary form of currency. The development of currency, from commodities to paper money. In the beginning, commodities were used as currency. This was because commodities had value and could be traded for other commodities of equal value. Commodities such as livestock, shells, and even stones were used as currency. As time went on, people realized that it was difficult to carry around large amounts of commodities, so they began to use pieces of paper that represented these commodities. This paper money was backed by the government, and it could be exchanged for goods and services. Today, most countries use paper money as their currency, and it is no longer backed by commodities. Paper money is used by the government to regulate the economy and control inflation. This can be done in one of two ways. The government can print more money. This will cause a rise in prices, since there are now more dollars in circulation. The modern monetary system, fiat currency, and central banking. The modern monetary system is based on fiat currency, which is money that is not backed by a physical commodity such as gold or silver. Fiat currency is created by central banks, which are government-sponsored institutions that issue money and regulate the supply of credit in the economy. Central banks use monetary policy to manage the money supply and interest rates, and to influence economic activity. The modern monetary system began to emerge in the late 18th century, when governments started to issue paper money that was not backed by precious metals. The use of fiat currency allowed governments to increase the money supply more quickly than they could if they were limited by the availability of gold or silver. This helped to finance wars and other government expenditures. Today, most countries have a central bank that issues fiat currency and sets monetary policy. The primary tool of monetary policy is open market operations, which are carried out by the central bank by buying and selling government bonds. The Federal Reserve System, or the Fed, is the central bank of the United States, and is the largest central bank in terms of assets held. Economists usually assume that the monetary authority is more concerned with stabilizing the price level than it is with stabilizing output. As a result, most models of monetary policy concentrate on achieving price stability, and only secondarily consider employment stabilization. Monetary policy is typically referred to as being either expansionary or contractionary. Money in the digital age, cryptocurrency and beyond. In the digital age, cryptocurrency has become a popular way to store and trade value. Cryptocurrency is a type of digital asset that uses cryptography to secure its transactions and to control the creation of new units. Cryptocurrencies are decentralized, meaning they are not subject to government or financial institution control. Bitcoin, the first and most well-known cryptocurrency, was created in 2009. Cryptocurrencies are often traded on decentralized exchanges and can also be used to purchase goods and services. Beyond cryptocurrency, there are other ways to store and trade value in the digital age. For example, online platforms such as eBay and Etsy allow users to buy and sell goods and services using various payment methods including credit cards, PayPal, and cryptocurrencies. Online peer-to-peer platforms such as Lending Club and Prosper allow users to lend and borrow money without going through a bank or other financial institution. And cryptocurrencies are not just for established companies. New cryptocurrency startups in the US raised $1.7 billion in 2017. Cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology, and other decentralized systems have the potential to be disruptive technologies that create new products and services and change existing business models. The future of money. In conclusion, the future of money is shrouded in mystery. What is certain is that money will continue to evolve and change as our needs and wants do. Perhaps one day we will have a global currency, or maybe we'll all be using cryptocurrency. Only time will tell.